To record. 5:30 p.m. on February 23rd, 2026. The City of Alpine Planning and Zoning Commission meeting is called to order. City Secretary, do we have a quorum?
Yes, we do have a quorum, President.
And note, notice were posted.
Yes, notice was posted by 2 p.m. on February 17th.
Thank you. Are there any public, we'll start out with any public comments. Each person in attendance desires to speak to the board on one of the items in the agenda shall speak during this section. Can't read today. Public comments may be made regarding the agenda items only. Attendees must be physically present in order to address the board. Comments by proxy are not allowed. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per person, and the board may not respond. Are there any public comments? Seeing none, we move on to public hearings. At this time, the chair invites members of the public to address each item listed in the section. Comments are made during the section are limited to the topic of each public hearing. One will be held for all three. Attendees must be physically present in order to address the board. And proxy, once again, not allowed. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per person at the public hearings. We'll read each three. Unused time, of course, may not be yielded. Let's start with A. Public hearing to obtain citizens' views and comments regarding ordinance 2026-0301 and ordinance approving rezone application 2026-0301, amending the official zoning map of the City of Alpine by rezoning the property located at 707 East Avenue F and legally described as the south 69.4 feet of lot size 6 and 7, block 25, Hancock Addition, south of the railroad, in the City of Alpine, Brewster County, Texas. And the same appears plat envelope 112, on file with the office of the county clerk, Brewster County, Texas. Save and excerpt the lot 17.3 of lot 6 deeded by F.B. Wyerts to the City of Alpine, Texas for street or highway purposes, dated August 30th, 1947. Recorded in volume 111, page 380, deed record of Brewster County, Texas, rezoning the subject property from R2 to two-family district to C1 neighborhood commercial district, providing findings of fact, repeal, severability, effective date, property notice, and hearing clauses. Are there any public comments here? Seeing none, we'll move on to 2, public hearing B. Lisa, would you like to read that one for us? I'm sorry, Commissioner Nix, would you like to read that for us?
Yes, public hearing B. Public hearing to obtain citizen views and comments regarding variance 2026-02-01. A variance which would allow the applicant Nancy L. Whitlock to establish a variance to the setback requirements of the subject property. The acceptable setback is typically 25 feet from a structure to the property line. This variance would allow the subject property 0 feet of setback from structure to the property line, which typically does not meet the requirements for a residential lot under the city's code. The non-conforming subject in question was established prior to the adoption of the city's code and setback requirements. The subject property is located at 407 South 6th Street and is legally described as block 76, lot 2, original town of the City of Alpine, Brewster County, Texas. The property owner on record is Nancy L. Whitlock. The property ID of the subject property is 12250. The current zoning classification of the property is R3 apartment district. If the variance is approved, the zoning classification of the subject property will remain R3 apartment district.
Anybody in the audience wish to address? Seeing none.
We have one.
No one? Okay. Step up. You have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is David Brizzo. I'm here speaking on behalf of my mom, Elisa Brizzo. I sent Secretary Calderon an email earlier this morning. I just want to make that a note of record for today's hearing.
They all have a copy with them today, if you're objecting.
Okay, I'll keep it simple. That way I can yield back time to the council members. And I just want to make a note that we're formally just objecting to the variance that was submitted. Just want to make sure we're here to apologize for being late, but we just got in from Austin, so. But anyhow, I yield back to the council members.
Thank you.
Section C. Commissioner Davis, would you like to read that one?
Sure. Public hearing to obtain citizens' views and comments regarding variance 2026-02-02. A variance which would allow the applicants David Collier and Gregory O'Neill to establish a variance to the setback requirements of the subject property. The acceptable setback is typically 25 foot from a structure to the property line. This variance would allow the subject property 0 feet setback from the structure to the property line, which typically does not meet the requirements for a residential lot under city code. The unconforming subject in question was established prior to adoption of the city's code and setback requirements. The subject property is located at 202 West Gallego Avenue and is legally described as block 76, lots 6 and 8, east 42 of lots 6, 7, and 8, original town of City of Alpine, Brewster County, Texas. The property owner on record is David Collier and Gregory O'Neill. The property ID of the subject property is 12255. The current zoning classification of the property is R4, Mobile Home District. If the variance is approved, the zoning classification of the subject property will be R4 Mixed Residential District.
Anybody wish to address D and Z on that? I see none. We move on to section 4, approval of the minutes from the previous board meeting. We have copy of the last board meeting here. I'm sure assume everyone has read that. Do we have a motion to approve the meetings,
Make
the
a motion
minutes?
to approve.
Have a motion to approve,
I'll second.
motion second. All aye, all in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Motion has been approved. I see section 5, no discussion items have been presented to the board. So we will move on to action items. Action items, item 6. We have just read all the statements. I don't know if we need to read all of them again. Technically we do, but so action item A. Since we already read it, I'm gonna make this ordinance approval rezone application 2026-0301. That's the one we're talking about.
Yes, and you're making that motion to.
I'm making that motion right now. Is there a motion to approve?
You just made it and then Commissioner Laxton.
Seconded? Okay,
You didn't know?
Perfect, so we can go ahead and begin discussion on that.
okay, we can begin discussion on 2026-0301. And of course, this is a rezoning.
And Jessica Isley, our building official, sponsored this item, so she can go ahead and discuss, the rezone and what all that entails.
Yep, whenever you're ready, Jessica.
Sure. So this applicant came in requesting a rezone. He would like to put a commercial property on the property located at 707 East Avenue F. It actually will have a 911 address of Cockrell. This is a property that has been undeveloped for quite some time. Based off the zoning map, it's corner is adjacent to a C1. Where it would be, I don't know if you see it on page 16 of 35. It's a long corner, but they are adjacent to like a catty corner to a C1.
Is this the one that has the little, looks like a triangle kind of?
No,
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 it's right next to Jerry.
right across from the,
right next to me.
right across from the football field.
Okay.
What do you mean? This is right next
This
to
is
you, you said?
Murphy. Okay, it's gonna be right here. Should be right there.
Did you say this is right next to your property?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, Justin.
And that's pretty much it. His request is to rezone because he doesn't want to build a residential. It's right on the main highway. Going south 118. It's right across from the field. It's right next to her property, but majority of the properties around her are considered commercial.
Yeah, and you can see skeletons from there.
Yes,
Um,
it's kind of kitty corner.
That's
and,
across. It's
Mhm.
adjacent to that. Yes.
Yeah.
And I believe I have met this individual with the application. He has some boating down there in Tillingwood.
Yes,
So, yeah.
his, I think mainly from what I understand, it's gonna be mostly storage for his, material, like his boats and things like that, but they have like a touring kind of thing that they do down south,
Like, yeah, it has a outfitter shop.
like an outfitter, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna have a retail shop or not, but it'd be it'd be considered neighborhood commercial. It's not gonna be like a high density, high traffic
Right.
kind of outfitter.
Okay.
There were no objections to this. It's like-
That's how the city recommended it, so, no,
It'd be nice to see that property developed.
yes.
Mhm.
And I saw it just got cleaned up a
One.
couple days ago.
Yeah, it's been almost 30 years that I know of a set, nothing.
Thank you, Joseph.
Any further comments on? Make a motion to vote aye, and to see how many to vote,
Yeah, we have a motion to approve on the table, so we can go
Yeah.
ahead and take a vote.
we can take a vote. All in favor, vote aye.
I,
Okay,
Unanimous?
perfect, Unanimous. Absolutely.
We now move on to action item B. Instead of reading the whole thing, it is a variance, 2026-0201. This is Nancy Whitlock's property. Is there a motion to approve?
all motion to approve.
Do a second?
Do we consider
Or
Mr.
to-
Baker?
To
Yes,
discuss.
to approve.
I'd like to
Our, the way it's written, our ordinance is to make a motion to approve, and then if y'all don't want to approve it, you vote against the.
So,
motion.
Do we
That was-
consider Mr. Brito's concerns?
We
So
will.
you're gonna, what you do is the motion and to approve is on the table, somebody second,
Yeah.
and a discussion.
And then
opens.
Then we can discuss it.
Based on the
Oh,
discussion.
Never mind.
So is there a second? So we can discuss it?
I'll second it. so we can
Okay,
discuss.
we have a second. Now we can discuss it.
Yes, and then again, if you want to vote against it, you would vote against adoption of that approval.
Yeah. Yep.
Alrighty, so Jessica Isley, our building official, did sponsor this item as well. Jessica, can you provide a brief to the commissioner?
Sure. So Miss Whitlock came in to our office trying to update this property that she purchased. It was to my knowledge that she already was in the process of buying a 6-foot portion of her neighbor's property. If you read it in page 20 of 35, based off the email that was sent, it doesn't necessarily state that anymore. So I'm a little confused on the information that's been given, but based off of our knowledge, she was gonna buy the setback and then she would have a side setback, but with it being the way it is, I don't know if it'd be possible for her to continue with this variance.
I think we need to table it till we find out.
Yeah,
So what exactly are you saying?
So the paperwork that was submitted is here. She has a survey of what she was planning on purchasing to meet the side setback. Because her property's encroaching on the neighbor's property. Technically, her property sits inside of her neighbor's. So she had to purchase some of that land. And based off of the information that was provided, she was going to purchase that from her neighbor, but the neighbor that sent the objection is the neighbor she'd be purchasing it from, so
So does this
I'm a little-
setback requirement deal with that portion of the property?
she wouldn't be able. No, the setback she's asking for is for
It's a side
the-
setback,
the front
or
setback,
setback.
Because,
but she couldn't do anything because technically her neighbor owns that wall of her property.
so I'm just wondering the implications, because we already have it scheduled for city council on the next meeting as well. So
Yeah.
I just kind of really want to make sure, you know, tabling is the best option, or what do you think? I'm just wondering if that variance would impact what she's asking. You see, like if she's,
She's asking for a variance that would, change her setback from her front setback to 25 feet.
and on the diagram.
Zero.
South Sixth Street.
Yeah, that was with the contingency that she was gonna purchase, what she already had a survey submitted stating that she was gonna purchase 6 feet. So her property, see the 6 feet on the survey that she provided on page 24 out of 35.
Uh-huh.
And then that would make it so that her property was not sitting in her neighbor's property. And so with that not happening, she wouldn't be able to move forward with any renovations.
But the neighbor needs to agree to it.
Yeah,
We don't
and
have
so they're
that.
objecting to
We
the
don't have
variance.
And that came in this morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So what is your?
because the neighbor owns that wall.
that we would
Do you
have
think
to,
she would have to own it before the variance is approved?
Mhm.
So.
She'd have to own that 6 feet before she could get
Oh,
variance.
wait, okay, question.
You got a question?
Yeah, so what if you do nothing?
Do nothing.
Do nothing, what do you mean?
Table.
That means it stays as it is?
We table it.
So the based off our ordinance, in a non-conforming structure, which this is what it is, she's allowed to maintain to keep it weatherized, but she would never be able to occupy it. It'd
And
just be a
so
building.
I think really what next time we would just confirm, like we would require a deed before we accept this.
Yeah, that we should.
So next time we'll make sure that that happens, but
Have to be reapplied.
this one isn't, I mean, it's if she's stating that, you know, that the property needs to be purchased first, then we shouldn't have accepted it, so
Yeah,
we're not gonna table it, it'll just not get
Which
approved.
is, doesn't,
And
we don't
advise-
even, we don't even,
We'll advise the applicant that they're gonna need to purchase that before we proceed through the process for the variance.
Been down that road.
So if they don't purchase it because he doesn't want to sell it, then it just hangs in limbo?
Yes, and you know, unfortunately, like I mentioned in my email prior, that there are certain things that they would not be able to do with the property, like remodel, you know, so it would create a hardship for them, but that's their own. You know, thing to deal with with the property owners next door.
When was the last time it was surveyed?
The survey in the
days.
packet,
No, that was
Said she
just,
had it surveyed recently, is what I thought you just said.
this is Kevin Mueller
Brand
from,
new survey from 2 or 3 days ago.
2025.
2025, yep.
and it was the whole lot. It wasn't just that little piece, right?
There was actually one survey for the whole lot in 2025, and then one from September of 25 with just the portion that was encroaching on the neighbor's property.
on page
Okay.
23, it shows what she has right now. And 24 on the backside or the next page would show what she was planning on purchasing to bring that part of her property in conformance so that her house is not sitting on her neighbor's property line.
So to satisfy the neighbor's concern, he doesn't want to sell it, you're put in a position to tear the place down.
Yeah. Or
Well,
pretty much remove a wall. They'd have to remove a not like a little bearing wall and move that house in. They'd have to re-situate it, yeah.
Yeah, that,
Something
you may as well
small
tear it
about
down.
It's not a small project, yeah.
But if it's historic, can't be touched.
well, it
on the
depends what kind of
exterior.
designation.
Yeah, it doesn't actually have a.
They mentioned the
historic
flag, but it
designation.
really goes back to whether
What a
it's
mess.
like by the state of Texas or another kind. The state of Texas one, yeah, there'd be some, I think.
I don't think this one's
Yeah.
placard. I think the next one is.
Yeah, that-
I do know
Okay.
that, and as far as the wall goes, because I've been down that road, we do need a deed first.
Yeah,
Do you need to what?
A deed,
Felix, you went through that with your property, correct?
yeah.
Yeah.
Need a deed.
PTSD a little bit.
right.
Just know a little bit about it.
so again, if y'all want to vote against adoption of a motion to approve, you would all vote against that. one.
Yeah,
And we're ready for a vote whenever.
I don't mind, but I think the homeowners and the property owners need to work something out on it
mhm.
together before we move on it. So I'll make the motion.
Oh, you don't have to make, a vote.
No,
it's already
no.
on the table.
Okay.
It's on the table. So the motion is there. I think the vote is to to not move on from this, to not approve?
Yeah, so you would ask for anybody who's in favor of voting for that motion
Anybody in favor of voting for the motion?
to approve?
Approve, I see none. Anybody in voting not, nay?
Nay.
Okay.
I don't see how we could approve.
You can't put the cart before the horse, you
Vote?
gotta get the bid
Yeah.
first and then
Yeah,
the whole.
Okay,
So-
So you that,
I just don't see how. it could be approved
yeah.
Based on the rules.
Okay, now we're gonna move on to variance 2026-0202. That's the one, David Collier and Gregory O'Neill. At the old market. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Got a motion to approve?
I'll
Get a
second.
Second, got a second. Now we can discuss it.
What do you know about this?
So this one, the gentleman that has this property, purchased it recently and wants to renovate it into a residential space. They attached a renovation plan on there. However, because it doesn't meet the proper setbacks, like, a lot of the buildings on the south side, that is something that I've spoken with the, city manager about updating our zoning ordinance, to, kind of remedies having so many of these coming through right now, because there's a lot of people that want to renovate the south side.
We're
But
getting a
of them-
lot of those.
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of them don't
That's
meet the
good.
setback requirements, and so,
And they won't unless you
They
knock the
won't,
building
yeah.
down.
but this is just one of those that, this was an, old bakery, it was an old, commercial building, and it's not that anymore, it's not even zoned that, but historically it was commercial. But it's zoned residential right now, so it doesn't meet those setbacks, and so he's asking for a variance to be able to rehab it into a living space.
And it's 0 foot. He
It's
owns
0
the
foot,
property
it's
as a
on the
building.
property.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Okay,
It's got the sidewalk with the historical marker there in front. You see that
yeah,
one?
yep,
Okay.
yeah, it's a neat little building.
And it doesn't change the footprint of the building, right?
No, it doesn't do anything.
No,
Like,
it'd
he's
be
not
like
adding on
the
to
Ritchie Hotel.
Yeah,
It's right on
it'd be
the-
like Richie, yeah.
And there was a objection to that variance?
No,
No.
Okay, that was a different one. Oh, yeah.
it doesn't change neighborhood, it doesn't change really anything,
No, it's
other than improve it.
And,
Because that's the original
Yeah.
old Alpine. That's where the town was.
Yeah, exactly, the commercial.
I want to see more of this going
Yeah.
on.
Yes.
from them.
So I'm working on a draft ordinance right now that hopefully we'll be seeing soon. So we won't have so many variances, because it is a lot to keep, putting into our
Gotta be some
ordinance.
sort of grandfather or something.
And keeping track of like, oh, this one has variance and this one has a special use, like, it's just a lot to keep up with. So if we just put it under an umbrella, if it was predated before our zoning code, and that's kind of what I'm working on right now, so that when people want to do a historical upgrade and it doesn't meet the setback requirements because of that. The one previous to this is a little different because the property is encroaching, but if it meets all the requirements other than setbacks, I think that they should be able to go ahead and remodel it if it's not dilapidated.
It's not, it's
Yeah.
not,
Yeah, it
it's not
looks-
encroaching on anybody,
you wouldn't have to change the sidewalk at all, or
Yeah.
I don't think,
It's not like
even
you
think there's any
design
changes to the, to the porch on the front.
I'm all for more of that on the south side.
Yep,
I would
yep,
agree.
you definitely need that.
A motion.
It's already motion.
It's already
to approve
motion.
on the table.
Anybody else, I was looking around for any more further comments?
No,
I'm
sorry.
Seeing no further comments. Are we ready to vote? Let's vote. All in favor, vote aye with your hands. It is unanimous.
Alrighty,
The motion is passed. Any further board member comments?
Why didn't did we discuss this letter?
That was,
That was Nancy's, so
Her neighbor, yeah.
yeah,
Why, we didn't discuss 1,
We-
2, 3 here.
we're not,
We-
we didn't, we dropped the whole thing.
y'all voted to not approve that.
Yes.
Okay, so we voted to not approve before we discussed the letter.
Yes.
Okay, well. Whatever.
No further comments? We stand adjourned. 17:54 or 5:54, another quick meeting.
Good way to go. Bye.
I thought it was somebody.